Hi, this is Rich Carlson. Welcome to another episode of The Art of Rope Work here on Canyons and Crags. This episode is the second in a three-part series about Deadman anchors. Today we're going to talk about knots and rocks. So grab your gear and a rope and follow along. This is where I pause for a moment to give you time to subscribe to my channel, smash the like button, and share this video with all your friends on social media. Thanks. So joining me in this episode is my buddy Joe Storms from Canada. So Joe, I know you know how to make Deadman anchors, but it's probably not something you use a lot of in the Swiftwater Canyons up in Canada, is it?
No, that's correct. Very rare, actually, that we are able to build a Deadman anchor.
Yeah. So, there's parts of the desert Southwest where Deadman anchors are actually quite common. We're digging a hole and burying rocks or sticks or logs or whatever. And I see you've got a collection of excavation equipment there.
If we know that we're going to build an anchor in the canyon ahead of time, we're going to bring a proper shovel. So one consideration is a shovel like this that is actually made out of sturdy material and is able to withstand a little bit of the abuse that we're going to be putting on it. If we don't know or realize that we are actually needing to dig a hole, we may have a trowel for other purposes, and we could use this in a pinch. If the circumstances are that we don't have any of these tools, we can rely on just using simply a rock and picking a rock that kind of looks like a shovel in many respects for digging.
Now Joe is going to demonstrate how to tie webbing around the object that we're going to bury to use as our Deadman. It starts with an overhand knot tied on a bight in the end of the webbing. Next, Joe is wrapping the webbing around the object we're going to bury, and he's pulling the other end of the webbing all the way through the loop that's created by the overhand on a bight. This method actually gives you a 2-to-1 mechanical advantage, so you can really cinch the webbing down tight on the object. We need to make sure that the webbing cannot come off of the object that we're going to bury. So depending on the shape of that object, you might need to wrap in multiple directions. So in this case, Joe's tying off the webbing with a half hitch and then changing directions with the webbing. There is not one right way to do this. The process is a mix of science and art. When you think you've got it right, give it a good old shake test. Sometimes you get lucky and you find an object with a shape that is secure enough with just a single girth hitch wrap. Digging in this spot created a problem for us. We encountered so many rocks under the surface that we were only able to go down about 2 inches. We compensated by using more rocks to add mass on top of the Deadman. We ended up with a hybrid between a Deadman anchor and a cairn anchor. So far we've been focusing on using rocks as Deadman, and rocks are the most common. But of course we can use other objects like logs. We can even use bundles of sticks. But aren't you afraid those sticks will break, you ask? Of course it is a concern if you're not using the sticks properly. You need to make sure there's solid material on both sides, close to the webbing to minimize leverage. Here are 2 examples of creative ways you can use additional rocks to add solid material in front of your Deadman. This concern does not only apply to a bundle of sticks. Rocks can break too. I posted this photo on a Facebook group, and it got people concerned about using Deadman anchors. Even though it didn't break with one person pulling on it, or even 2 or 3, it didn't break until this entire crew was pulling on it. So what should you do if you encounter a Deadman that was made by somebody else? All you're going to see is webbing coming up out of the ground. Your safest bet will be to dig it up and inspect it. You might love what they did and reconstruct it exactly the same way it was. Or you might discover it's not deep enough to be safe because the last water flow has taken some of the surface material away. To learn some cool techniques for making Deadman anchors bomber, check out my other video titled Friendly Friction and Meat. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you think it will benefit others, please share it on your favorite social media. The best way to keep this old man motivated to produce more videos like this one, while I still can, will be to subscribe to my channel. Thanks.